The next highlight of this opening is the Life Achievement Award of the UEG. And UEG recognizes with this award individual achievements in digestive health each year. We honor individuals who have contributed at least 30 years with remarkable achievement that improved the life of people in relation to digestive health. Their contributions, leadership and influence have been pivotal to our UEG and are widely recognized in the broader gastroenterological society. Let's see the distinguished pioneers in digestive health who have received this award previously.
Please welcome Mario Diniz Ribeiro, a longtime friend and collaborator of this year's Lifetime Achievement Awardee.
Dear UEG community, dear friends, it's my honor and I'm very, very happy to be here. Of course, there are no conflicts of interest here, but it was already said, I'm a friend of Lars, so that's why probably I was chosen to be here. A few names in Europe and also I think in the world can meet in one single person. I think those that know, from you that know Lars will agree with me. He has been involved in so many progresses in our field, innovation, education, but most of all, humility. Of course, it's not, let's say, too much of protocol, but I need to share a personal story. Once in one course where we've met so many times, I got into the faculty room and there was Lars smiling. And I said, why are you smiling? And he said, why shouldn't I be? I'm doing what I love, educating, and I'm among my heroes. So this is Lars, yeah? Always humble and happy to help and happy to contribute. He finished his PhD only 5 years after his medical school, and still during his residency he wrote a book, among many others during his life, but this book is still printed. He published many manuscripts during his life and contributed a lot to our research. But this is not enough to describe Lars. He has been a leader, and a leader not always, let's say, leading or being the boss or being the chief. Most of the times, Lars is behind the scenes and he's leading. This is a good example at the Education Committee of UEG. But of course, he needs to move up and he needs to make changes. And for instance, the quality endoscopy meetings that many of you probably attended, a joint force or joint event between ESG and UEG many years ago, and supporting Thierry Bronchon on launching ESG Days and being the leader of ESG. Also, moving up through the structure of WO. And this is again an example of how the moving up of Lars towards being president was just an event, as he's sometimes described, because he produced the minimal standard terminology that most of us use in our daily life. He built the outreach committee, and I think most important beyond being president, I think, was launching the outreach committee, as I said, but being there. He has been several times in Africa, as most of you probably know, and he made so many bridges that I think will prevail for the future. So it's again my pleasure to state that Lars, those that among you know Lars, you will agree with me, it's truly a pleasure, and on behalf of UEG community again, Lars, thank you. Where are you? Ah, you are there. Thank you.
Aabakken.
Dear friends and colleagues, but even more so dear UEG, dear Norwegian Association of Gastroenterology, and dear Mario, my friend and favorite Secretary General, thank you so much for this honor and for making this day a truly memorable one for me. So, for a career in medicine, there are a couple of things which need to be considered crucial factors which need to be there. And the first one for me is to have the talent to find or to be found by a good mentor. Obviously, you need to work hard, you need a little bit of talent, but without a mentor, the route through your career will be so much harder. And for myself, I was blessed with a lineup of brilliant mentors, people with vision, with insight, with door-opening capacity, and just general wisdom. One of those mentors was Peter Cotton, and I think if you can spell ERCP, you would know the name of Peter Cotton. And I had the fortune to spend a year with him in Charleston back in the 90s, and it was a true blessing for me. And the reason I mention that is because my first encounter with Peter Cotton was at my very first UEG week in Oslo in 1994. So I know for a fact that this event is a very fertile ground for you to find and connect with your future mentors. And for you candidate mentors in the hall, please keep an open eye towards possible mentees in the same hall. This is payback time or pay forward time, maybe. And I really congratulate UEG for creating such a phenomenal venue for exactly that kind of connections. The other important factor is to have a good life partner. And I found Karen, my ex-wife, obviously in a previous phase and in a time when being a Karen wasn't even invented. But for 17 years, she was a phenomenal supporter and partner for me and for our two sweet daughters. Now, she finally gave up on me, but she was and still is such a remarkable person, and I wanted to use this opportunity on this podium to recognize that and to give her a big virtual hug. Now, the Lifetime Award obviously is an incentive to maybe try to achieve even a little bit more during this lifetime of mine. And for myself, I certainly will focus on trying to be remembered by things other than just being a slightly crazy guy from Norway with an urge for competitive self-examination of his own gastrointestinal tract. If you know, you know. So with that, thank you again and enjoy the week.